All right, so this is the magic behind sound, right? Because a lot of people may think that sound is just whatever we regurgitate with our throat chakra, with our throat, and whatever we send off to someone else for them to understand what we're communicating, what we're thinking about, or what we're analyzing. But sound actually plays out with your organs and things like that, because your organs is really where the original sound comes from, because sound is nothing but a vibration at the end of the day, and your organs are creating auras, they're creating vibrations and things like that. Now the sound that you give off, as far as your energetic body, as far as your mind, see, that depends on the individual, right? Because your organs are programmable as far as the feelings that you contain, or as far as the material that, or the properties that you imbue them with. Now, what do I mean by that, right? Some people's hearts may be enchanted or enhanced with the energy of hatred. They're pissed off about something they don't feel right about, and they want to transform and change that, right? That's going to start to emit a particular sound when you walk around people. It's going to be a hidden vibration that only individuals that are paying attention to their environment, paying attention to people, is able to catch on. They're going to be like, this person, I hear the sound of war, the sound of rage from their heart and things like that. Because your heart is playing a melody as well. Where do you think we even got the idea of instruments from? We got this shit from our organs. Your heart is already playing that beat. You can't tell me, well, that's why we say your heart is beating, isn't it? Because your heart is the same way you hit the drums and you make that beat, the same way your heart is drumming, is hitting that beat. So your heart is playing a particular vibration. And when humans started getting more advanced with this third dimensional vessel, understanding how to utilize our organs to push out influences better, understanding the universe around us, we started to even make music to celebrate the universe, the calendar that is the universe and shit like that, based on certain times and things like that. So we started to make even like music to celebrate the universe and shit like that. So we can look into our music and we can create a sound that is either benevolent or non-benevolent. For example, if you look at Dr. I can't remember his name, man. Dr. Miyamoto, man, I can't remember his name. But anyways, his experiment was about how words, how about sounds can create what's it called? Structures in water. I believe it was more words, right? But if only the word can do that, imagine if you were to add the emotion to the word, right? Because the word is just a left brain logical structure. What if I tell you, I love you? And I make a song about that, right? But I'm only singing like, I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, right? It wouldn't have much of an effect. But if I added, I love you, and I made a song about it, and I understand what tones am I tuning into to produce that electromagnetic frequency, that vibration in someone else, through frequently riding that wave and things like that, that energy signature itself that I'm tuning into will be able to manifest onto someone else and things like that, because now I actually understand the influences that I'm pushing out, right? So a lot of the musicians today on the rap scene, or just the music scene in general, don't know what type of influences they are pushing out. I mean, they do subconsciously, but they may not know it consciously enough for them to, tune it and alter it, because, based on you being owned by certain producers, based on you being owned by certain studios and shit like that, there's going to be certain frequencies behind closed doors that you're going to be tasked with pushing out onto the world, because this is actually what you're being used for as a musician by the industries and shit like that, by the shadows and shit like that. So they want to be able to use people for certain agendas to push out certain sounds, certain energies, so people can think and feel in certain ways. And that's what they're doing with the whole matrix system and things like that. So sound is just nothing but a vibration that we create, and we create instruments outside of us in order to replicate and duplicate that vibration through many different ways and through many different instruments and shit like that. But the original instrument is the organ itself, is the mind. The mind is an instrument. You can right now go in your mind and you can create a train of thoughts and feelings, or you may already be in a train of thoughts and feelings from previous situations that has already put you in a particular frequency, right? So say, for example, you might have had a very traumatic childhood and shit like that, and you might still be playing the melody of that experience from that childhood, right, inside of your being. And that's what you're regurgitating, and that's what your cells are constantly experiencing. And so if it's a really bad memory, if it's a really negative memory, your cells are going to begin to mutate, and certain things are not going to function as they used to. And in the accumulation over time period, over a particular time period, you're gonna start to see that manifest into symptoms, and it's gonna be called some type of sickness or disease. But it's really the inability for something to flow inside of you effortlessly and easily as it's meant to be. Because we're probably holding on to, a lot of emotions that are not dealt with, and those emotions, that have vibrations within them that are based on frequencies, things that we frequently thought and felt about, those generate an experience for us. The same way we go to a concert and listen to music, that music can hypnotically generate an experience within our minds, is the same way, right? We generate an experience with our mind, and that experience can be measured in so many different ways. It can be measured as a line, as a frequency rising up and down and shit like that, based on the bandwidth that we want to calculate it within and stuff like that. So sound is very important because you're using sound right now. Every thought, every feeling that you have, that you're exposing your brain to, that you're exposing your body to, all these things is just you programming your own vessel and things like that. You creating, if you tell yourself, oh, I'm stupid, oh, I hate myself, you don't think that sound that you just emitted, God forbid you put vibration into that too, like your feelings backed up into that too, you will actually create a cell that actually think and feel that way, and it's going to go rogue and it's going to convince other cells. So what do I mean, right? When you talk to yourself, right, beyond just you talking to yourself, when you hear yourself, when you hear your own thoughts and feelings, you hearing the cells that you fucking programmed your goddamn self. Because just as much as you be out here in the third dimension talking, inside of you they be talking too, right? So that's why it's really, really important for us to get into the understanding of how to program our own minds via sounds, and how to actually surround ourselves with sounds that actually meet our vibrational set point, so we can actually assist ourselves and not fuck ourselves up. Because believe it or not, the music you should be listening to is not the same as the music that other people should be listening to. From the perspective of, like, yeah, you can listen to anyone's music that you want to, but there's gonna be certain things that just hit the spot for you, because there's certain areas that you just astrologically pick as a configuration for you to live as that. So now you're experiencing the world from that and as that, and you're being that. And when you understand what you're being, you're gonna understand how to create certain rituals, how to use certain spells to enhance yourself and your state of mind, because via understanding the space that you're already in. But yeah, this is sounds and things like that. Don't be fooled by the mainstream industry, because they're not gonna teach you this shit. They're gonna tell you sounds come from your organs. Your organ was the original instrument and shit like that. And even beyond that, because yeah, they're not interested in teaching you guys this shit. They're only interested in teaching you guys just so little so they can use you guys on their fucking chessboard and shit like that. But yeah, peace out.